Hello. Okay, for the sake of time, it's 12:30.
Yes.
Since I will be the one speaking, only a few minutes to introduce myself and the purpose of this meeting. It's not important, so I will start hoping that more people will connect as well. So good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. I'm Kathleen Figueiredo-Lacey. I am the president of the Belgian-Portuguese Chamber of Commerce. I'm based in Brussels, Belgium. I'm very happy to be promoting the big event that will be organized in Porto in October. And this is the reason why we are collaborating with the stakeholders around the table here to promote this event. I would like in this occasion to address a special thank you to Katia Verpoeken, who is a board member of our chamber and who has made this connection possible. And I will then pass on the floor to, I believe, Maya.
It's correct. Okay, so welcome everybody. Good afternoon or good morning, depends. I am Maya. I am Maya Foster-Alon. I'm the project manager for the NEXI Longevity Congress. And the organizers are the Canis Exhibition Group. We are a group that specializes in B2B events. We initiate and organize conferences internationally, and we connect professionals, industries, and ideas. And I'm very happy to welcome you all to today's webinar. The webinar is organized, as Kathleen said, in collaboration with the Belgian-Portuguese Chamber of Commerce, and we're very grateful for their support to bring this event to their network. And as part of this partnership, we'll be happy to provide a 50% discount to all of the chamber members for registration for NEXI. And I will link the promo code and the registration link in the chat below, so you're more than welcome to use that. NEXI Longevity will be taking place on October 8th and 9th, sorry, in October at the Alfandega Porto Congress Center. And while NEXI is sure a global initiative, Porto is at the heart of it, with its vibrant ecosystem and of research and entrepreneurship and collaboration. The city, as we saw it, is the perfect place for a global dialogue on longevity. The Congress will bring together leaders from science and healthcare and policy and investment to drive solutions that extend healthy years of life. The program will include keynotes and panels, startup pitches, and an expert panel, as well as networking opportunities and an exhibition, which all will create a perfectly meaningful space for connections across the longevity section. So today we're delighted to have these speakers. We have Dr. Pedro Barada from the Centro Hospitalar Universitario. He will be speaking about the impact of longevity science and medicine in the business sector. We have Ana Clara Silva, who is the Regional Director for Integrated Public Policies and Longevity, Autonomous Region of Madeira. She will be speaking about the government strategy on longevity. We also have Marcus Leal, who is a senior partner at Compassium and also be the moderator for the experts panel. He will be speaking about the impact of longevity mindsets on consumers, science, and business. And of course, we have Ana João Sepulveda. She's the CEO of 40 Plus Lab, and she will be speaking about why longevity is relevant in the economy. So thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it, and we will look forward to welcoming you in Porto. If you have any questions regarding the conference, I will leave my email in the chat box. Please feel free to contact me. At the end of the session, we will have times for question and answers. So please enjoy, and hopefully we'll see you in Porto. So Pedro, please.
Hello, just going to share my screen. Can you see it?
Pedro, I will be annoying. I'm going to put a 5-minute chrono.
Oh no,
Okay?
don't worry. Don't worry. Perfectly fine. Can you all see my screen well?
Perfectly? We can. We
Okay.
can see.
So basically, I was asked to talk about longevity and the health span. And obviously, there's a difference between health span. It's common knowledge that lifespan refers to how long you live. But what really matters is health span, the period of life a person spends in good, or may even say great health. So the basic question here is, how do you want to live your last 10 years? So this is about quality of life. And in fact, this theme is all over the place. This is, and you'll recognize it, Brian Johnson is in the cover of Wired magazine of this last issue, and he claims to have a eventual recipe for eternal life that I do not recommend as a doctor. But nevertheless, all this issue is about the lots of theories and things we can do to enhance our life quality. But this goes way beyond what we're used to have. And in fact, President of China and President of Russia were overheard talking about immortality and organ transplants in a conference. But that is not what it is interesting. It is very interesting that President Xi said that now people in their 70s are still young. So this means to the elite of the world that 70s, and I'm from the time where we did not make knee surgeries to people over 40 because they weren't active anymore. Now presidents, regardless of their politics, are saying that they're still young. And when we go to consulting companies like McKinsey Health Institute, they put up, and this is very recent, as less than 15 days, reports on health science can enable healthier life for us all. So the big consultants are all going into this area with a lot of interventions. I won't be, you will see this addressed in the conference, but all the hallmarks of aging and all the clinical trials in several areas, from oncology to immunology to musculoskeletal, they're all being studied in order to enhance our quality of life. And there is a huge market. The market in 2024 was 21.29 US billions, but it's expected to raise in the next 10 years to 63 billions of US dollars. So there is a huge market opportunity, and this obviously considers pharma, wearables, medical devices, nutrition, all the situations. Obviously, also, this is going to be extremely enhanced by the impact of AI and large language models, with deep learning and generative artificial intelligence being extremely helpful to gather new data, better data, and to help us treat our patients. Now, why Porto? Porto is a city of science and is a concept linked to Porto's strong academic and scientific ecosystem, which is characterized by a connection between universities, research center, and a business sector, fostering innovation in a multicultural environment. And also because, and this is my last slide, so I believe I'm within my time, we age like port wine. You know that old port wine tastes better, it's better. So we already know the recipes. When you look at this, when you have the proper environment, which is our expo zone, when you have the proper systems, which here are where we store the wine, and good genetics, That's why we improve the genetics of our grapes. We do get a great product even as it gets older. So thank you very much. And then I will be back for Q&A if someone has it. Thank you very much, Kathleen. I hope I made my time.
Perfect. Thank you. Maya, do I let you announce the next one?
Yes, sure. 1 second. So now we have Ana Clara Silva. Anna?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes.
I'm sharing the screen. It's okay now?
We don't see it.
Not yet.
Sorry.
There
Yes.
we go.
There we go. There we
Perfect.
go. Now we can see. Perfect.
Good morning, everyone. I should say we would like to aging like Madeira wine to share with Pedro the opportunity to have the same importance in the ecosystem for longevity, not at the academic level. Of course, Porto is for us recognized as an important academic center, but with a good example how to get old and in a good way, aging with the help with Madeira wine if it's possible, but in a context, geographical outermost region, in a context and that looks like very difficult because it's in the middle of the Atlantic and in a context insular too. I'm sharing the approach, the ecosystem, the model that we are developing to show how we are doing this. First of all, the most important thing for a small region with a lot of difficulties at technology, at budget, to retain talent, and so on. Working in interface, an important interface. This is the region for Macaronesia. That means we remain cooperating with Azores and Canarias and all the countries in the middle of the Atlantic to become more robust in this and with more competences on this way. Because, as you know, the most important industry is tourism for all the region, and we should work with the tourism as an opportunity to improve, not just for the economy level, but to improve with the scientific tourism too, the opportunities to discuss this approach. As I share with you, this is the model. This is the model of change, and it's totally aligned with the WHO declaration for the decade 2021-2030 for healthy aging, and how are the most important thing. As you can see, we discuss with the different systems and the subsystems too. And the most important thing is how the systems, what are the touch points between the systems and what they do exactly in this kind of touch points for people. Health span, it's the desire for all of us, and the capability and of course less dependency and less disease, it's the most important for us. One of the things, we have some measures in the action and in our regional program of the government, but the most important things is to focus what are the touch point between systems. For example, between health and the social security or the sector social. One of the projects that we are at the moment running and with some successful situations, it's to work early the discharge of the people from the hospital. For example, today in the press, in the regional press, one of the opportunities for the new hospital, a new hospital that will become ready, we hope, in 2027 or 2028, it's the opportunity to improve health span at the region, not just for the region, but for all middle of the Atlantic, because at now we treat patients from Azores and patients from Canarias too. And just to share this example, the discharge for all people with frailty risk or dependence risk are prepared 72 hours before. And we start doing this between the health sector and the social sector. And we have a plan and we prepared, because the critical situation it's at home. And why at home it's the critical situation, and how innovation could help of this. We are trying to have all the opportunities, and we are preparing with the economy sector to have investors and investment in assistive technology. This is the most important thing for one region, that we don't have enough nurses, enough doctors, enough so on, caregivers, informal caregivers too. We have all people living alone. Loneliness is the other problem that we are facing. And this kind of plan, it's a plan that we will go to show in the 1st October, is how to optimize this assistential system for all 65 old people with problems or risk of frailty or risk of dependence, and without caregivers, informal caregivers for support them when they.
Ana Clara, I'm sorry, but you're already over 1 minute.
Okay.
If you can conclude.
Thank you. This is the appetizer, as I said, Katerina. This is the kind of projects, but for us it is important to detail some of this kind of intervention. Thank you. We have the opportunity to come back.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now we have Marcus Leal who will be speaking.
Thanks, Kathleen. I'm afraid of you. I'll try to reflect myself. What is taking me to Porto actually in October? So, and I put 4 different perspectives. First perspective, many years ago, early 2000, I had a market research responsibility. I had a project in which I want to understand how people were consuming healthcare, water, and energy. So 3 basic needs. So we picked 3 different dimensions: 1 village in India, 1 country in Africa, which was Ghana, 1 city in Latin America, which was Rio. Common thing that we saw in the healthcare space is that we have kind of a 2 extremes. So if people they're having a headache or a heart attack, they are going to the same hospital, meaning they're struggling the system. But if they have also a heart attack or headache, they may call grandma to ask for a tea, so what they can solve, and so they stay put, waiting for something worse to happen. But what has changed since then? So people start having access to social media and digital. So my neighborhood and my family is now expanded dramatically globally. I am now friend of people that I have no idea what they do, and now we're talking about diseases, we're talking about wellness at the same time. Remember when we start talking about Dr. Google, so people start getting ready almost with a prescription to the doctor. So still struggling the system. So that's a big change in the behavior. One of the discussions I'm going to have there during NEXI is about the impact of wearables. So people start counting steps, what for? But they start counting that. And then I was part of the team that was responsible for launching Freestyle Libre, which is a life-changing continuous glucose monitoring. People being able to understand what will be the impact of a beer during lunch in their glucose. So that's fantastic. But I think the big revolution that is still yet to happen is how to make it that very meaningful to each individual. So what will actually make me take actions? But the big change is that people are no longer reactive to health. They are more proactive to health. If you're talking to someone that is 65 plus, they do not want to be treated as retirees, for example. They want to do whatever they want with the conditions that allow them to do that. The other 2 perspectives I want to give you is that last year I had, I would say, quote unquote, privilege, not for my bank account, but for a way of living to live 6 months in Monaco. So if you have ever spent 1 week in Monaco, you know that your leg's gonna kill you because the place is a hill. So you're all the time going ups and downs. But how they can manage to have more than 36% of the population with more than 65 years of age? They have a great transportation healthcare system. They have escalators, elevators. They have very nice sidewalks, and they have lots of activities. Okay, but you can say, okay, but Monaco, we cannot compare anything against Monaco, right? So, but I come from the city, which is in the southeast region of Brazil called Santos. Previously is known by soccer and by the port, and now get to be known as a retiree city in Brazil. What they have in common with Monaco, lots of activities, walkable place. People can do some from surfing to kayaking to jogging classes almost for free. But the point is, okay, how to make it sustainable, how to make it a business, and how to make people enjoy that. And that's how I see Portugal playing a very critical role. Portugal can build the bridge between those two worlds, between the Monacos or the longevity clinics in Switzerland or the hotels in Middle East and what is happening in Latin America. By being part of this discussion, I think we can really understand what can be piloted or implemented in the short term to help solve one of the most important behavior and societal changes that we're going to see in our generation, which is longevity. Did I make it, Kathleen?
You have another minute if you want, if you have more to say. Very interesting.
No, just looking forward to your questions. So maybe you can have more of that time during the Q&A.
Wonderful. And now we have Anna Sepulveda. So Anna, please.
Thank you all. Thank you for joining us in this conversation. My role here is clearly to show why you should come to NEXI. So I'm a sociologist by training, and since the moment I started looking at longevity, I understood that sooner or later longevity will have an impact on the economy. I'm CEO of 40 Plus Lab, and what we are having done here in Portugal is exactly this: is helping companies and regions to work on longevity. And we were very happy when the Canis exhibition joined us and asked us to help and build NEXI. So NEXI is a living platform where we are putting together science, as Pedro shows, the government, as Anna also show us and give us a little appetite of what have been done in Madeira, but also the economy. So what we want to show at NEXI is how this concept that we developed, longevity-driven economy, is a reality nowadays. We will also have a panel on consumerism. So we are discussing how the economy, how the consumers are addressing this new mindset of living well and long. So not only, as Pedro said, not only living longer, because it doesn't mean that I'm happy and I'm living well, but it's clearly living longer and well. At NEXI, we will also address another topic, which is investment, so that we know this new market, this new longevity market, or well-being, as you want to call it, is nowadays a reality. You know, it's impacting the houses, how the houses are being built, the new concepts of housing. It's impact how the real estate is addressing the market, how the store, the retail industry is changing, how consumer is looking for fast-moving consumer goods in different areas. And I can show you an example that we discovered recently is, I will not discuss the science of this because this is not my field, but the fact is Christian Dior announced the other day they are preparing a new perfume that if you use it, it will increase your biological age. You know, I don't know how it's done, but this is what they are saying. We know also that L'Oreal is also changing the formula of their moisturizer to also use them as a way to increase your biological age in a positive way. So you'll be younger, younger. So we know this is a reality. You know that biomarkers are a reality. So this is why NEXI will have two halls. Hall A is basically the science of longevity. So not only what at the 4P of medicines, not only biotech or wearables, as Marco was saying, but it's clearly to show in those 2 days how the science is addressing this new longevity and how the science, in a way, is pushing this vision for longevity and the reality for longevity. And then we have a hall B. In this hall B, then we have the other stakeholders discussing about the longevity impact. So we are putting in the hall B the science together, talking with the economy, with the politicians, with investors. So this is what makes NEXI different from other longevity conferences, because we have this vision to make NEXI a living platform for those who want to understand what is longevity-driven economy, for those who understand why it is important, and going back to what was saying before, Porto is a very strategic area for us. So we want to we want to engage with the Portuguese diaspora. We want to bring you here to Porto. We want to help you connect with people and the speakers that will be here in NEXI. But the vision is a little bit bigger. So we would like that NEXI will be the starting point to open and to build here in Porto a longevity ecosystem, you know. So this is something that we are working on. We are working on together with Fundação YAP. So essentially, this is, you know, the vision and what we want to develop in NEXI. I think this is it from my side. We can go for Q&A.
We can start the
Well done,
Q&A.
Anna.
So if anybody would like to ask a question, now would be a good time.
I have many questions, to be honest.
Well, all the speakers are here. Pedro should be here as well.
Can I start, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Anna, where does this longevity driven economy, when has it started, and how far are we, and how well known is it actually? I must be very honest. I've been seeing around some articles on longevity, but I wonder at EU level, how far are we already? And I'm based here in Brussels, so my question is, have EU institutions already started thinking about it? Is this something that is already integrated in our priorities? And yeah, how well known is it?
The concept, Caitlin, might not be well known, but the focus is, you know, European Union since well, the first conference on at that time was called Aging, was in 2015, promoted by Carlos Moedas. Is now the Lisbon's mayor when he was there. European Union has been looking at aging for a quite long time. Nowadays, they realize that the focus is promoting people living longer. So I cannot precise a date or a year when it started, but I can say that COVID made a huge push on this. You know, COVID made people to be aware of. And when we saw in 2023, 22, I think, no, 23, World Economic Forum started talking about longevity economy. You know, the concept is not the same, but from what we understand, in fact, what they were talking about was this longevity is a force that is driven the global economy. So they talk about the concept of longevity economy because they are missing a more adequate name or concept. So nowadays we see that clearly longevity is a huge topic for not only for the EU, but for other countries. You know, I can give you the example of Ireland. I can give you the Portuguese example. Madeira, they were pioneer. You know, so this is a very important topic. We have no doubt, but also it needs people's literacy, which is one of the reasons why NEXii is important. You know, as you told us, as you mentioned, longevity is not a well-known topic yet. It's not mass marketed, as we say, but it's clearly something that we are building today.
Okay, next
Marcus,
question.
I don't know if you want.
Oh, sorry.
No, then I
was
would
saying
go
if
to my
Marcos
second
wants
question
to-
is
okay, okay.
how is Madeira a pioneer? And it's interesting when Marcos mentioned the example of Monaco. There's some similarities between Monaco and Madeira. We know that it's people that are older that enjoy these places. It's people with money that go to these places as well. And how can we already promote Madeira as being a pioneer in this field?
Madeira is for now discussing this opportunity to become a place for aging good, well, with good climate, with good sea, and a lot of opportunities to enjoy the interface with how we live here, how living here with this good food, good examples, how people living with the quality could be a good example. And of course, we have now some people, retired people, that choose Madeira to live. This could be a challenge very important, not just for health, but of course for the private sector of health, because these retired people want to be assisted in a good way. And we should have not just the public sector, but the private sector, but we discuss together how we could transform our health system for a good health system could be a good brand for become a place that people want to live, to become old at Madeira. One of the opportunity, as I said, is the assistive technology, not just a gadget, but as a part of the care system, because we have the evidence, we have the scientific evidence that could be very helpful in a system that are facing, because people, one of the challenges, people came retired, but in a level of the health status, it's quite good. But how they became older with us, the needs are different. And we are preparing to assist them in a way, integrated way, in the public, social, and the private sector, to have a healthy regional system to support them. Of course, that we have investors, for example, as the international newspaper did a report about that. It's the cool zone, for example, is a new opportunity for investors. We have now a medical clinical, Medic Bite, and the cool zone that are exploring how the cool and the use of the ice is good for healthy aging. And we have and other labs, for example, are investing to have special kind of tests to explore the opportunity to screen how you could get older better than we are doing now. And this opportunity of investors and of course the economy sector are now interested on this way of the economy, the longevity as a dimension of the economy. We are working together. One of the other opportunities work with our diaspora, our communities, because, for example, we are doing now a project that means roots, life and roots. That means we are talking with our community how the descendants want to study at Madeira and retain this kind of students to stay here, because we have now the medicine school, the nurse school, in the next year the pharmacy school, and of course at the university, at the level of the university, and we want students. Why not our students that the grandparents still here, for example? We are discussing, but this is a discussion that we are doing between all sectors, including tourism.
Can you please share the article you mentioned? Can you put it in the chat?
Yes.
Do you have the link?
I don't know if I have now the opportunity to
or
share,
then if you can send it,
but I will share with you. Yes.
Thank you.
Just let me check if I do. I will share now, or I will send it. Okay.
Thank you. Katja, do you want to take the opportunity to say a word about Relogen?
Thank you very much, Kathleen. Some minutes ago, I raised my hand. Thank you for the opportunity. I just wanted to very quickly talk about Relogen. We are based in Belgium, and the focus is exactly to bridge science policy. We're just now talking about the EU policy, so we are very much eager to be one of the European leaders in developing the EU policy that will bridge science and business. So that is our positioning here in Europe. There are other two entities, of course, in Brussels that are working on longevity, but they are very much focused on pensions. But this holistic view triangulates these three areas. And to be very competitive here in Europe. It's only that I wanted to share with you.
Okay, do we have any other questions for the speakers?
I take the opportunity. I see that Claudine Godinho is here from AUEX in Lisbon. Is this a sector that AUEX has already been looking into? AUEX being the investment arm, if I can say, of the Walloon region in Belgium.
Hi, Kathleen. Hi, everybody. Thank you for the interesting conference. Actually, it's not yet. And also for me, it's a new topic. So that's why it's so interesting for me, important to be here and to be aware of it, to be aware of the topic. So and it's something that I could probably propose also to my colleagues. So it's important to have more information, but it's actually something new for us.
So I don't know if you were here at the beginning, but Maya actually announced that for participants of this webinar, members of our chamber as well, that there would be a 50% reduction in the fee to attend the conference in Porto on the 8th and 9th. So if there is some interest, you can
Thank you.
get directly.
Yes, I'm just sending that in the chat. You have my email there as well. If anybody would like to contact us regarding the conference, please feel free. And we have the registration link and the promo code. Everything in the chat for you.
Thank you.
So I don't know everybody who is here, but I see Sofia Carvalho, who is here from the Portuguese bank, Caixa Geral de Depósitos, and I think this is also a topic of interest, but that is also quite new for you, Sofia, I suppose. You have no microphone.
Hi, hello. I'm really happy to stay with you in this webinar because this theme is really, really important for me. My company, Caixa Geral de Depósitos, it's really interested in transmit the different, try to transmit a different view of working to stay in our job, but the importance in the different areas for the longevity is important, that the way that we work, the way that we are in the different areas. So this, how can I say, is really, really important that these informations are shared with a lot of companies, but with the employees, because the positive way that we work, that we stay in your life, it's really important. I don't know how I can explain the importance, but I do in my life. I study a lot of these things, and I'm really interested. And I think Portugal are made important steps to in Porto, of course, because it's the city of science, but in the different companies, I wish that how can I say, Kathleen, it's in English, it's really important that the employees, not the employers, but the employees know what is important in his jobs, in these lives, what really mean and what is really important, because a lot of people never listen about longevity in jobs or life or before. It's important to make different things, and it's just this is a positive way of stay in life, but understand the impacts of the positive views in our health, and it's this is the positive way that we move in our life. It's something like this, and understand the real impact in your health, because we know that the impacts are strong, and is this is this.
So Maya, we have recorded this webinar. So we will share this with our members for those who had registered and couldn't attend. And hopefully we will get a few more participants as well in Porto.
Wonderful.
And I can only wish you a lot of success for this important conference.
Thank you, Kathleen. We appreciate everybody who joined today, and thank you so much. And we hope to see you in Porto for this very important event. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
All the
Thank
best.
you to all the speakers. Very interesting.
Yeah,
very interesting presentations. And thank you for keeping up with time.
Yes.
Thank you.
There is a question from Berta. If there is an opportunity to join online the conference in Porto.
Unfortunately, we don't have an online presence. It will only have to be there in person for the conference.
So there will not be any
No, we
online
won't-
participation.
No, we don't have. No, we don't have online. We don't. Not at
Sorry,
the moment,
Berta.
no.
That's a shame.
Where are you based?
I'm in Lisbon. The problem is that I'm traveling, so on the 8th I will not be at all. I'm inside a plane, so no chance. And then just going on the following day, it's quite a stretch after, you know, a full day of traveling on the 8th. So I was wondering whether that would be possible. Nevertheless, Marcos, I think you touched something very important. If you just allow me to express this, which is as a citizen, former corporate employee, and now a small business woman, I feel like driving the motivation from each individual into this, more than the economy itself, is how much do I want to put into my own longevity. And longevity nowadays is being, I think, a little bit confused with living as long as you can, as beautiful as you can. Is very connected with being beautiful and aesthetics, and it's all about our quality of life. But driving this is very, it's a very cornerstone to whatever it is that we're building as an ecosystem for the future. And I say this, for example, I see my parents, or I see my friends' parents, whenever they're reaching their 80s, it seems like there's something about being 80 that just, you know, triggers some synapse inside of their brains. It seems like I'm just waiting to die. And making them see that they do have value after X age, it's so important to promote longevity, and with that, obviously, the longevity economy. So it will be a shame for me not to be able to participate in Porto, but thank you so much for this sneak peek. And I've noticed a few names that I'll be following on Instagram or LinkedIn. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
What business are you in, Berta?
Well, right now I'm trying to create a regenerative approach to my housing. I have a few apartments, I rent them out, and now I'm thinking about targeting a different type of market, thinking of people like, you know, my parents or younger, and some of them just want to age in place, and some of them will not have resources to do this. So I'm trying to incorporate regenerative and ecosystemic principles into this. So I'm just giving the first steps and into transitioning from a normal transactional business into something that it's much more attuned to future needs and myself, right? Because I'll be aging in the future. So thinking about adapting the way the contract should be drafted, all of those details that are around just renting a house, how can I transition that into something that seniors can actually afford? And it's a house that it's appropriate to their needs, physical needs, financial needs, and so that's, but I'm still, you know, working on it, few ideas.
Very interesting.
It's very interesting. I love this topic.
Well,
So thank you.
Berta, NEXI is going to be a yearly Congress, so hopefully we'll get to see you next year.
Okay, thanks so much, Maya.
Wonderful.
And for those that are here but that didn't speak, I see Andrea, Karina, Sara, João. I hope it was interesting for you. I don't know which business you're in, but hopefully this webinar brought some food for thought, as we say. Thanks a lot to everyone then.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
And a good
Bye-bye.
lunch for those in Belgium.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.